Welcome back, everyone. We are talking about voter turnout on the night before the election here in Davidson County. Tomorrow, people go to the polls to pick a new mayor, or maybe keep the same mayor, to vote in the mayor's election. We also have council at large. And we're talking with the co-founder of the Equity Alliance, Tequila Johnson. What is the Equity Alliance doing? We've kind of talked about the need for more people to vote. We encourage people to go vote, especially young people. We're not seeing enough young people vote. But really the turnout was not that high in early voting. Hopefully tomorrow, take time, go vote. But what are some things you all are doing even tomorrow to help get voter turnout out?
Well, right now we have volunteers on the ground knocking doors, reminding people that it is election time and that they should get out and vote. We've done 2 block parties this election season where we usually go to a polling precinct. We have food, barbecue, stuff for community members to come out and, hey, while you're here, just go over and vote. So we had one of those last weekend at the Bordeaux Library. We also have a partnership with Lyft where we're giving 50% off rides to the polls. And if you go to your Lyft app and you use the code VOTENASH19, you can get 50% off a ride to the polling precinct. So we're trying to make it as accessible as possible for people who, for whatever reason, aren't able to get to the polls. We also have our voter guide. If you download the Nashville Voter Guide, you can go to NashvilleVoterGuide.com. There is a unbiased profile for every candidate that is on the ballot, and it gives you everything about them, from where they went to school to their platform, their website, their phone number, everything you need to know. So if you have questions about who you want to vote for and why, I would encourage you to visit the NashvilleVoterGuide.com. Nonpartisan voter guide, all the information you need in there about everybody that's on the ballot.
You are very involved in this. Why? What brought you to it?
Oh, wow, it take forever. Glass of wine. It was very personal. I had a friend, Christian Bugs, who ran for school board. Prior to that, I had gone through some issues with just family members and the criminal justice system. And I kept saying, this isn't fair. Why is this happening? Because I didn't understand how the process worked. And when Christian ran for school board, she just was like, hey, you're going to be my campaign manager. And I was like, okay. And I managed her campaign, and in the process of that, I actually got to see how things work behind the scenes, and a light bulb went off. And I'll never forget, Charlene was her communications director. That's where we actually met. And we were sitting around a table, and we were looking at, there's a software that you can see where all of the frequent voters are, and there was this big plop of dots. And we were like, well, why are we skipping over those dots? It's more people over there than everywhere else. And a year later, what we learned was that was the Casey Holmes housing projects. And we were skipping over that blob of dots because those people aren't likely to vote. So when campaigns when they strategically map out who they talk to, they strategically go and talk to people who they know are going to vote because resources and several other factors. And we said, if no one is going to go out and talk to people, we have to do this. And then things just kept getting crazier and crazier, with the Trayvon Martin case happened. It was just so much happening, and we said, we have to roll up our sleeves. Now that we've acquired this knowledge, it is our responsibility. And later I determined learned that this is a part of my purpose, to actually go out and empower people. A lot of people find power in money and material things. I find empowerment to be powerful to me. So that is what has led us here. We do this on a 100% volunteer basis, which people's heads spin when they find out about that, but we do. And I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't feel slighted. I actually feel great because I know that I'm making a difference.
That's great. And so it was started here in Davidson County. You were part of a campaign, and you saw kind of behind the curtain, and you were disturbed by what you saw.
Yep.
And now you're trying to change things.
Yep, we are changing things.
Well, that was going to be my next question. How how is it going? Are you optimistic? Like,
extremely. It is going very well. I'm optimistic, but more so I'm very grateful because there were a lot of things that we knew, but there were a lot of things that we didn't know, and there's still things that we're learning. And I can say that the Nashville community has embraced us. They have given us information. People have given us time, talent, resources, just to help our vision, our purpose be lived out. So I'm extremely optimistic every day. It's like eating an elephant. You can't eat it in one sitting. You have to take small bites. And so every day that we take a bite, we see it get smaller and smaller. And you know, when we started, we were 50th, and now we're 45. And next year, if we can get to 40, and you know, it's those types of small victories that really make me feel optimistic and hopeful for the future.
And those numbers you're talking about, those are state numbers.
Those are state numbers. So
you were motivated by a Davidson County campaign. That's what got you going in Davidson County. But you're a state organization, right?
Yes.
So you've been, that's a big elephant. That's a lot to try and take in.
Oh yeah.
And so how is that going?
Oh, that's going awesome. Like you said, we saw the need in Davidson County, and as we started building the organization, we literally dove in headfirst, unapologetically. We didn't ask for permission. We didn't ask for an apology. I still owe a few people an apology. And we just started like researching and really like trying to learn about as much as we could. We really stayed behind the scenes for about a year, and for a year, I had probably 7 coffees a week where people who were influential, who were knowledgeable, who had access to certain stuff, or people who were just in the community that were fighting certain things that were related to this, we sat down and we talked to them and we picked their brains, and they just poured so much into us, and it literally like propelled us from just being this small Nashville organization to being this statewide organization, where now we're like, okay, we have 15 volunteer staff members, mind you. 15. I mean, you want to talk about the volunteer state. We are the epitome of what the volunteer state should represent. We have 15 very diverse volunteer staff members who, like, I mean, all the way from data to just someone who does our graphics, and I even have an admin assistant who volunteers her time. So it's just been incredible. And
so you've seen this. You've seen progress, because you said when you started, what was Tennessee? 50th?
50th.
And now we're 45th.
We're
is
45th,
that right?
Yeah.
So that is, I mean, that's actual marked progress.
Yeah.
What do you think the number one reason for that is? And maybe there's several, but what's the number one reason?
I think when I think about what the Nashville Justice League represents, which is a coalition of organizations who may not all look the same, may not all agree on everything, but we agree on one point, and that is that democracy works best when it's left in the hands of the people, not big corporations, not elected officials. We believe that people should vote and not dollars. And you know, we have Turk Votes, which is our awesome immigrant rights coalition organization. We have the AFL-CIO and some of their affiliates, which is representing working class people, and the Equity Alliance, which is fighting for the rights of black folks and civil rights. And we all come together and we say, we're gonna put all our energy together, all of our efforts, all of our resources to try and move this together more or better or more effectively. That is what I attribute a lot of the success to. Collaboration. Collaboration is the new leadership.
And there was a lot made of Taylor Swift in the last election, saying go vote. She endorsed a candidate in the Senate race. And so what about that? I mean, you know, Taylor Swift, is that part of it or not part of it? What would you say?
I think Taylor Swift, whether she knew it or not, she was a part of the collaboration. Call me, Taylor. But no, I think everyone that has done anything, whether you've only registered one voter, if you've only drove one person to the polls, if you wrote a press release, if you delivered the news, whatever you've done that has informed or empowered someone, you are a part of the coalition, and you played a role in that, going from 50th to 45th.
Very good. All right, we're going to take a break. If you're on the line, there's a couple people here on the line. Hold on. We'll get to your call. Take a break. Be back right after this.